Hey everyone, welcome back to Champion the Passion, a weekly pro wrestling podcast where we inspire you to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. I'm your host, my name is Victoria Daisy, and today we have another bonus episode where I will be previewing the entire card for AEW All In Texas happening tomorrow, July 12th at 3 p.m. Eastern. I will be sharing all of my predictions, but before I dive in, don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. But let's dive right into this card. This is an absolutely phenomenal card. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches. 9. Plus, we have one extra one on 0 Hour, which is their pre-show. And so technically we have 10 matches. And it is going to be so exciting. Obviously, tomorrow we also have NXT, the Great American Bash, and Saturday night's main event, plus Evolution on Sunday. So we have 4 huge shows this weekend, but I kind of have to say I believe that AEW All In Texas will be the winner of the weekend. It's my most anticipated show. It's the show I'm most excited for. This is AEW's Super Bowl, WrestleMania, their biggest show of the year, and I cannot wait. They have so many fire matches. So let's stop talking about how good it's going to be. Let's just dive right into the first match. Obviously, I don't know the order of any of this, but you know what? Let's start with the 0 Hour match, which is going to be on the pre-show. So we have the Outrunners versus FTR. Now, this is going to be a great match. Kind of sucks that this match isn't even on the main card, but I understand. There hasn't been like terribly too much storyline, so I kind of get it. But I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, I really love the work that the Outrunners have been doing recently. I feel like they have a lot of momentum. And even though the safe option would be to predict FTR to win, I honestly have this feeling that the Outrunners are really going to have a triumphant victory at 0 Hour for All In. And I'm just going to say it now. I'm going to predict them to win. I really hope that they can continue this momentum. I think having a victory, even if it's on a pre-show, but in a stadium, having that feeling, those goosebumps of like, wow, we just won at a pay-per-view. And I think that could take them super far. To be honest, I think they have everything to gain. I think FTR has everything to lose. So I would really, really hope that we get to see the Outrunners take that W. So that's what I'm going to predict. But let's get into the main card. Let's start with the AEW World Trios Championship match. So this is going to be the Ops versus Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Gabe Kidd. This is going to be absolutely amazing. I love all 6 of these dudes. We got Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and to be quite honest with you, I always forget the other guy's name from the Ops, but it's okay. I just think it's going to be a really good match, and I'm so freaking excited. But to be honest, even though I do think that the Death Riders and Gabe Kidd have a good shot at winning the titles, I don't think they are. The Ops have been on this high right now. They have really been so dominant in the trios tag division that I don't see them dropping the titles anytime soon. So I'm going to predict that the Ops will retain their AEW World Trios Championships because, again, I just can't see them losing it. And if they do, that's going to be a huge shock. But also, why the hell would they have Claudio, Wheeler, and Gabe win the titles when they're not even like a real team? I don't know, make it make sense. To me, it's just like not gonna happen. And if it does, I'm gonna cry. You guys know that Wheeler Yuta is like my Roxanne Perez. There's nothing about him that I love. So of course, I really don't want him to win these titles, but it's okay. We're just gonna move on to the next match because I'm already getting worked up. Let's talk about one of the Casino Gauntlet matches. Let's talk about the men's Casino Gauntlet match happening tomorrow. We have Mark Briscoe with the number 1 spot and MJF with the number 2 spot. And we also have announced Mystico. And I also saw that Tony Khan announced Big Boom AJ, one of the Costco guys, for this match, which I think is going to be so fun. Now, I don't know exactly how many people are going to be in this gauntlet match. I would assume about 10 to 15, maybe more, maybe less. But I'm really excited to see who else will show up in this gauntlet match. It's really hard to predict, again, when we don't know everybody. But I honestly wouldn't be shocked if MJF, took it all the way to the end and won the whole thing. I would really love for him to win. And I really want to see him back in the title picture. I think Mystico also has a really good chance. I don't think he'll win it, but I think he'll go far. And so I'm just really, I don't know, I'm really intrigued to see kind of how this goes. As much as I would love Mark Briscoe to win, I just don't think he will. And as far as any other people, to be honest, I don't know who else would be in this match. I was trying to think about it earlier and I was like, honestly, like, I don't know. There are room for, surprise returns. Like, we still are waiting on a return from Adam Copeland, Darby Allin, Chris Jericho. There's so many people that, and even more than them, that I would love to see come back. And I think, a gauntlet match is always the perfect way to do that because you never know who's going to come out next once that person is eliminated. So I'm really excited to see kind of how that plays out. But if I had to put my money on someone, at least from the three people we know, I guess I'll put it on MJF. I feel like that's kind of a safe bet. It's either him or Mystico. But let's move on to the women's casino gauntlet match. We have Chris Statlander with the number 1 spot and Megan Bayne with the number 2 spot. Now, unlike the men's where we have 4 men announced, we do not know who else is going to be in this match. And I love that they did not announce more than 2 people because, just like the men's, this leaves us with so much room to play with. There could be debuts, there could be returns, surprises. I mean, holy crap. I don't know who could be in this gauntlet match. Obviously, we're going to have a lot of like just generalized AEW queens, but I'm really hoping that they pull out big guns for this show and they just go over the top. They do the most. I really, really hope that that's the case. But at least out of Megan and Chris, to be quite honest with you, I could see Megan Bayne going all the way to the end and winning the match. Like, I honestly wouldn't be shocked if that happened. Like, I would freaking love that for her. She's been on such a rise recently. She's been doing a lot of tag work with Penelope Ford and even stuff on by herself. And I think she's been so dominant and she's done such a great job that I honestly think she's a top contender to win this entire casino gauntlet match. But once again, we don't know who else is in it. And if there's somebody who's a bigger star than her, I'm sure they're going to end up winning over her. But I would really love to see Megan Bayne take that W and, go on for a guaranteed title opportunity. So the next match, speaking of title opportunities, let's talk about the AEW World Tag Team Championship 3-way match. So we have Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley of the Hurt Syndicate defending against Jet Speed and the Patriarchy. So this is going to be absolutely insane. Not only do we have the Hurt Syndicate, but like I just mentioned, we got Speedball Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, Nick Wayne, and Christian Cage. This is going to be an absolutely fantastic match. This is definitely top 3 matches I'm most excited for. I absolutely love every single person in this match. And I'm a little bit torn. I'm a little bit back and forth with who I think can win this match. Now, obviously, the safe bet here would be the Hurt Syndicate, but I feel like, similarly, like I've said to other people while reviewing this card, Jet Speed has been literally on speed mode. Like, they have been on the up and ups. They are coming out every single week, making their statements, making their voices heard, and doing the literal most. They have so much momentum right now and have been taking W's and have just honestly becoming stars in this company. And there's something in me that feels like maybe they can sneak away a win and capture those World Tag Team Championships. Do I feel 100% secure in that prediction? No, because obviously the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby and Shelton have been super dominant, and I don't know if they're going to let that slide. We know that MJF and MVP will be ringside for that match. And so, they always have shenanigans. MVP is a very dirty player, so I don't know if he has, I'm sure that they have tricks up their sleeve. And so I'm just really curious to see how that all is going to pan out. I do not think that the patriarchy really has any chance of winning these tag titles. I just know that they're going to be entertaining as hell in the ring, and I cannot wait. Obviously, Christian Cage, father of the freaking year. I cannot wait. It's going to be great. And okay, I need to make my final, sorry, my brain's all over the place with this match because it's like, I really would love to see Jet Speed take that W, but then at the same time, I just feel like the Hurt Syndicate's going to retain. Crap, I don't know, but this could be a huge moment for Jet Speed. You know what? I'm going to play it safe, and I'm just going to say the Hurt Syndicate is going to retain their titles. But I do think that when it comes time for the finish, there's going to be some sort of spot where maybe it looks like Jet Speed's going to actually win, and maybe that will be the indication that they will win it sometime this year, but I don't exactly know when again. But let's talk about another title defense. We have Adam Cole, Bebe, defending his TNT championship against Kyle Fletcher. Now, man, Kyle Fletcher has been on the journey of a century for the last year and a half. This man has become a true star. I put him up there with some of the best because he's so underrated. In the ring, he is like a baby Will Ospreay. That man can do so much, and he is so freaking good. You know, Adam Cole's been champ for a minute, and to be honest, I don't feel that they have utilized him the best that they probably could have. And there's some confidence in me that says Kyle Fletcher will capture this title. And, you know, it's always hard with a big show like this, and there's so many title defenses. I think every single title is being defended, you know, to figure out who's retaining, who's losing. I feel like a lot of people are used to the WWE system where it's only like, okay, only this amount of people can retain and this amount of people can lose the title. But with AEW, it's kind of all over the place. Sometimes there's shows where everybody retains, or there's shows where everybody loses their titles. And so there's not really a system. So that's why it's hard to predict sometimes what's going to happen. But I think I'm going to be a little bold here with my prediction and say that I believe Kyle Fletcher will obtain the TNT championship. You know, there's obviously the chance that Adam Cole, you know, retains, but could you imagine Kyle Fletcher as the TNT championship, or sorry, as the TNT champion? Because I certainly can. I think that he would be a fantastic champion. They're already using him so much in these absolutely insane matches. And just to add a title onto that to up his prestigeness, I think that would be absolutely insane. So I'm going to predict that Kyle Fletcher is going to take that W and take that TNT championship. All right, let's talk about another top 3 match for me that I am so freaking excited for. This match right here for me is a dream match. If you've been following me for years, you know how much I love the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks, I've said this since 2021, which is when I started watching AEW. It's been 4 years now, which is crazy. They have been my favorite tag team since the moment I laid eyes on them. I think that they are absolute wizards in that ring. I think the reason why I love them and why I love Kenny and why I love Penta and people like them is because every single time that I watch them in the ring, they show me something I've never seen before. They show me move sequences, moves in general, spots. They're so creative, and that stuff will never make them stale. And I love that. That's why they are literally like never going to go out of style, you know, using a Taylor Swift quote. But I am so excited for this match. So we have the Young Bucks versus Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. Now, there are some heavy stipulations on this match. It's not just a regular tag team match where I could be like, oh, this person's going to win, this person's going to win. If there were no stipulations to this match, I would easily say that Swerve and Will would win. But considering the stipulations, I think otherwise. So here's what the stipulations is. If Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland lose this match, either of them will not be able to challenge for the AEW World Championship for 1 year. But if the Young Bucks lose, then they will lose their EVP titles. Now, something I want to bring to light is the fact that AEW and Tony Khan have the opportunity to really ring in a new season, a new era for AEW. You know, you could literally rebrand everything by having Hangman win, Mercedes win. You could have Jet Speed win those tag team championships. You could have Swerve and Will win so that they're the new EVPs. You know, you could really like make this a new era. Do I think they're going to do that? No, I don't. And there's no shade to that at all. And I would hope that they wouldn't fully do that yet, only because like chat, I need the Young Bucks to win, which I 100% believe is going to happen. I don't think at all that they would have them lose their EVP titles. I think that that has been such a huge part of their character, and they're literally the founding fathers of All Elite Wrestling. So I don't think that that's going to happen. But I think that by Will and Swerve losing this match and not being able to challenge for the AEW World Championship for a year, I think that they have a huge opportunity right in front of them to kind of do like a Cody Rhodes situation where it's like a chase to the title. You wait years to get to it. Obviously, in this case, it'd just be 1 year, but you are so hungry for it. You will do anything to get it. And I think like it would make that moment all that much better for when the time comes that they can actually challenge for the match. Maybe they do a one-on-one, maybe they do a triple threat match, which I would hope would be the case. But that would be insane. Maybe next year at All In they'll do it. But I would love that. I think they could do gold. They could produce gold with that. And I think that would be insane. So I'm going to predict the Young Bucks take this W. I really hope that's the case. I think this match is going to be an absolute masterclass. We have 4 insane wrestlers. I don't even like to categorize them as high flyers, even though they are. I just think that they're insane. They do it all. And I love it. And I'm so freaking excited. All right, let's talk about another one of my top 3 favorite and most anticipated matches. We have the AEW Women's World Championship on the line. Toni Storm defending against the TBS champion Mercedes Moné, my girl. Holy crap, here we go. So I made a video on social media about this, I believe it was yesterday, talking about how, you know, right off the bat, everyone's going to say, yeah, Mercedes is going to win. This is light work for her. She already has 6 other titles. Of course, she's going to win this one, which of course, as a diehard Mercedes fan, I want that to happen. And if it does, I'm going to be so excited. I'm probably going to end up crying because it's going to be such a sweet moment for her to have like a huge victory, finally winning the big one, you know? But at the same time, must we not forget that Toni Storm is not an easy opponent. This girl has held the title for, I believe, 570 days. Don't quote me on that. That's probably wrong, but I remember it being somewhere around there. And you know, she is the longest reigning AEW Women's World Champion, and she is a force to be reckoned with. This girl is up there with the best, kind of like I said with Kyle Fletcher earlier. And you know, Toni is that division. She is the women's division. I know Mercedes is right beneath her, but she is that women's division. And so when thinking about this match, I always come back to the point of what was said in their final face-to-face on Dynamite 2 days ago. Toni said something that if they use that little snippet and make an entire storyline out of this or continue this entire storyline, we could have gold in our hands. So Toni said something during that final face-to-face, like I said, that really caught my attention. She said, I don't remember verbatim, but it was something along the lines of like, you know, you are one of the best. You've won all these titles. You deserve all these titles. But the one that you will never get is my AEW Women's World Championship. And she goes, you will go down in history as the one to never win the big one. And when she said that, I was like, oh crap, we have something here. Because what if Mercedes doesn't win? What if Toni makes herself this absolutely unbeatable Roman Reigns type of character? You know what I mean? Like, you're telling me that someone with 6 championships cannot beat you? That's crazy, but that's in a good way. And so that really puts Toni over. I don't necessarily think it makes Mercedes look weak. I think the focus would probably be most towards Toni. And I think through that, they can build a storyline for the next 6 months to a year, maybe have that rematch all the way next year All In. I think that would be absolutely insane. Again, just like, who did I say that about before? Oh, about Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland. She could have a chase to the title storyline of being like, crap, like I really hope I don't go down in history as the one who can never win the big one. So she's like finally going to have her big moment a year from now and then finally wins the championship. Now, okay, here's 2 scenarios. If that match does happen next week, will it be from Toni? Or sorry, next year? I don't know. we have been waiting very patiently for a special dentist to come back, okay? Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. We've waited a very long time for this woman to come back, and I think this match would be the most perfect time for her to come. Obviously, she could come in the Casino Gauntlet match, which she does, excuse me, she's definitely going to win it. But with this, if Mercedes wins this match and she does become, 7 belts Money, the AEW Women's World Champion, I need that music to hit. I don't even like Mercedes can have her little moment, but then I'm going to need that music to hit. I'm going to need some DMD action, and that's what's going to be the next feud. They could go that route too, which I wouldn't even be mad about because that's been like a dream match for me for so long that I absolutely need to see that entire rivalry unfold. Now, if Tony wins, maybe Britt comes back for her, wins back the title from her, and then her and Mercedes go on that journey next year. Those are two, and maybe Britt Baker doesn't even return at all. Although I really hope she does, and I really think that they should bring her back. So we'll see what happens. But part of me, yeah, this is really hard. You know what? I'm going to say Mercedes wins this. I can't turn my back on Mercedes, even if I think the storyline would be a little bit better if it went the other direction. But hey, maybe Britt Baker does come out when she's celebrating her victory. So I'm going to say Mercedes wins this one. Then we have the second to last match, which is a winner takes all for the new inaugural AEW Unified Championship. So we have the AEW Continental Champion Kazuchika Okada versus the AEW International Champion Kenny Omega. Now this is going to be amazing. This is one where I am like, I don't know what's going to happen. Kenny, like you guys know, is one of my favorites, and I pray to God that he wins this and he becomes the new AEW Unified Champion. I think that they have utilized Okada so well recently, but I just feel like they haven't done that much with Omega. And, maybe that's your argument. Like, okay, exactly, Okada should win. But I just need Kenny to win. Like, there's no way Kenny Omega loses, right? Like, he literally cannot win. He literally cannot lose this. Like, he actually has to win. And so crap, I'm so torn right now. I don't even know. This is so 50-50, kind of like Mercedes and Tony, although I feel a little more confident with Mercedes winning. But even though I want Kenny to win, doesn't necessarily mean he will win. Man, I am so torn. There's a gut feeling in me that says Okada's winning. I don't know if I should listen to it or not. You know what? I'll leave you guys with this. My gut feeling says Okada, but I want Omega to win. So that's where we're going to go. All right, let's talk about the final match. This is the main event for the entire pay-per-view. We have a Texas death match for the AEW World Championship. Jon Moxley defending against Hangman Adam Page. We can end the episode right here. Hangman's winning. Like, you can't convince me otherwise. Like, Hangman is not losing this match. Like, he's just literally not losing. Like, there's no world where he loses. I'm telling you right now. Now, obviously, because this is like no DQ Texas death match, there is 100% a possibility that the Death Riders do get involved some way, somehow. And, Hangman is going to need backup. And obviously, he's had help in the past from the Ops, from Swerve, from Will, but I'm going to need a big moment for this main event. I'm going to need some returning stars. I'm going to need an Adam Copeland, a Darby Allin, a Chris Jericho, literally anybody. And I think that would be so sick. And I really hope that happens. But honestly, I think with the storyline here, the Death Riders have kept this title held hostage for, I don't even remember, over a year, I believe. And I'm sorry, he needs to let it go. And you know what? Hangman has been on the ups, and he has been on this enormous storyline. There's no way he loses. Like, there literally is no way. He is our next AEW World Champion. Like, there's simply no way. And I stand completely firm on that. But that is my predictions for All In Texas 2025. I am so freaking excited. We talked about all 10 matches plus the 0 hour, and I just cannot wait. Tomorrow is going to be so magical on so many levels. If you are looking to watch AEW All In Texas tomorrow, it is at 3 p.m. Eastern. I believe that is 12 p.m. Pacific, if my time conversion is correct. You can order the pay-per-view on ppv.com, on Prime Video, on Fubo. You can go to your local Dave & Buster's or movie theaters to watch it there. I'm trying to think. I don't know if they're still doing it on Bleacher Report, so don't quote me on that. But I do know for sure you can watch it through Prime Video or ppv.com, and it is going to be so freaking amazing. I cannot wait. I also will be doing reaction videos tomorrow, so make sure to follow me on all social platforms so that you can see that. I will also drop like my regular YouTube version the day after on Sunday, and I think we're just in for such a great show, and I simply cannot wait. I will also have Evolution reactions up the following day and then Monday as well. Depending on when All In finishes, will depend if I do Saturday night's main event reactions. I'll try and do one at least for the Goldberg match, but I don't really know if, when All In is going to end. It starts at 3 p.m. And if the show runs 5 hours, it should end by 8, which is when Saturday night's main event starts. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. But thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this bonus episode of Champion the Passion. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed. Follow me at It's Victoria Daisy across all social platforms, and follow Champion the Passion across all streaming platforms. Don't forget to champion your passions and celebrate the joy in what you love. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.